Good day, folks. So, yesterday I posted an article of a comparison between Funakoshi sensei's Enpi kata and other versions of the Wanshu kata. There I said that Funakoshi Gishin in 1935 he described the technique in Enpi as a thrust to the upper level, a Jodan Tsuki. And at the same time, he described that the thrust starts from the right hip. Then, in later times, this technique was reinterpreted to be an agetsuki, a rising thrust. I think this might be due to trying to accumulate more martial arts principles into an otherwise simplistic technique. This is what happens all the time because if you define something as a Budo and a martial art, and within the Budo as a like in a range from gymnastics to combatives, everything covering, so you have a lot of playroom to apply ideas and principles. And I guess this Agetsuki was meant to transport the idea of what is called Kobo Itai, which you find in some older styles like Motobu Choki, he did it, and in Matsubayashi, you see it all the time. That with the thrust, you make way, you counter a thrust and hit at the same time, things like this, or Kobo Itai. And I guess, it's just my guess, that the post-war Funakoshi lineages, they filled up, they grafted upon the older models, the older templates, more and more of like tactical and combative applications and principles and ideas that are found in general Budo, which continues all the time. Like Western martial artists, they've been doing this all the time. Like they have been looking for, how can I interpret this movement that doesn't make no sense to me from a biomechanical standpoint, and how can I make it something that is actually a martial art? So all these ideas that come around today in the age of audiovisual media, where you can just compare what others do, um, every movement that was originally probably simplistic is updated and extended, and there are thousands of martial artists actually, and that is the truth. They're working on it all the time, to upgrade and make it more like bring the battle or the combat, the fight back into kata and all this kind of stuff. So this is a huge and global phenomenon. Now the thing is that the kata, the Wanshu kata, originally it had a lot of combative techniques in it, but through changes via several stages and adaptations to certain needs and wishes and aims and objectives, the kata have been changed several times. So no kata today can like honestly state, well, this is the original technique. And so it's kind of futile to actually argue about it, and it's also, it carries a huge paradox in the sense that these combative techniques may have been part of original karate long ago, but they were lost. It was emptied, it was an empty vessel, so to speak, and it was refilled or begun to be refilled only in, let's say, the 1960s or 70s, right? So this is a huge paradoxon of karate. Then the original technique of Wanshu, or one of the original ideas of Wanshu, might be seen in the Shorin-ryu version, where it is a Kakushi Tsuki, Well, kakushi, it could mean, so you got the hand, it starts not from the hikiti position, but from the lumbar region, from the rear. So the hand is in the rear, and from there is raised high to a high hikite, not like in Shotokan, very low at the hip, but at a high hikite at about the level of the nipples, and from there thrust straight forward. So it's not a rising thrust at all. It just starts at an unseen position. So it might mean that you grab something that you have in your girdle in the back, whatever that is, a pipe, a tackle, or a sai, or whatever, you know. Or it might just mean that the opponent cannot see where your hand is, right? And you accelerate it into the hikiti position without it stopping and over it. And so the opponent cannot see where it comes from. And when he sees it or when he senses it, it's too late because it's coming full force. It has a full acceleration and full speed already until then unseen, and then it has a full speed already at the hikiti position, where usually it is stationary. So anyway, and then it was interesting because Daniel, he answered and he pointed me to a video which is probably of the 1930s, maybe mid 1930s or so or later, showing a student of Funakoshi Gishin doing the Enpi kata. And this is important to understand because one person cannot know everything. So, you know, if we help each other every now and then, we're getting better. Okay. So, of course, I took this video and I prepared a little bit to see it better. What is happening here? And this is the video, and this is the position where the Jodan-tsuki, as Funakoshi Sensei described it, is taking place. So here it is. Here it is. There it is. You see, it's hard to see because the right side of the person is in the rear, but as I'm going to show you later, starts from the hip. So the left hand is doing the Gedan Barai. There's a Gedan Barai position, and now the right hand comes and does a, there it is, right? This Jodan-tsuki. And naturally, I mean, if you start at the hips with your hand at the hip bone, and then you strike to the Jodan level, it is kind of naturally that it's rising. It has to rise. Also, it doesn't look like this here. There's already high. So I'm going to continue, and the second instant is coming now. So he is coming. This is still the block to the front, and now he's turning. And watch as he takes his hand to the hip first. It's very clear. Here he takes a hip to the hand, the hand to the hip, and there's a break. There's a pause. So this signifies that this is the starting position. And then from that position, from the hikite position, he then performs the strike. There it is. So you can see it starts from the hikite position. Also, this hikite position for Shotokan is pretty high. So this is at the short rib kind of. It's not at the belt or at the pelvis or something, but a little higher. So this raises a question of if today's really like low hanging revolver kind of posture of Shotokan, if that is really original karate as well. So I'm going to let it run here. This is half speed. There you can see there comes a punch, there comes a step back, and now he's right hand to the hip, and from there he strikes straight to the Jodan Tsuki. So it's not really an Agetsuki.